Thank you for staying tuned. The World News at 6 begins on the foreign scene, where Bangladesh's former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been found guilty of crimes against humanity and sentenced to death. A special tribunal found she was responsible for ordering a violent crackdown on student-led protests last year, during which the United Nations estimates up to 1,400 people died, mostly by gunfire from security forces. Sheikh Hasina has called the court's decision biased and politically motivated. In a statement released after the verdict, she was tried in her absence and has been living in exile in India since being forced from power. The verdict will put India under pressure to extradite Hasina, Bangladesh's longest-serving prime minister, but it is unlikely to do so. Security has been ramped up across Bangladesh over fears of a backlash, with some protests already breaking out this morning. Sheikh Hasina has now been convicted by the court that she established in 2010 to try war crimes committed during Bangladesh's 1971 liberation war. Meanwhile, the United States House of Representatives Subcommittee on Africa will hold an open hearing on Thursday, November 20, 2025, to examine President Donald Trump's recent redesignation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. The CPC designation, if ratified by the Senate, would allow the U.S. to impose sanctions on Nigerian officials found complicit in religious persecution and limit certain forms of bilateral assistance. It also signals to the international community that religious freedom in Nigeria remains under serious threat. It will feature two panels of witnesses, including senior U.S. State Department officials and Nigerian religious leaders. The congressional hearing is expected to review not only the scope of religious persecution in Nigeria, but also potential policy responses, including targeted sanctions, humanitarian assistance, and collaboration with Nigerian authorities to prevent further violence. On October 31, 2025, President Trump designated Nigeria a country of particular concern for religious freedom violations. The move had sparked debate over rising attacks on Christians in Nigeria and the possibility of U.S. intervention. In designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern, Trump cited alleged severe violations of religious freedom, particularly the persecution of Christians. He claimed that Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria, with thousands of Christians being killed by radical Islamists. Trump warned that the U.S. will take action, including potential military intervention, if Nigeria does not address the issue. The U.S. president also threatened to halt all aid and assistance to Nigeria should President Bola Tinubu's administration fail to end the alleged persecution and killings of Christians. The police and Kebbi state government have confirmed the abduction of schoolgirls from Maga Comprehensive Girls Secondary School in Danko Wasago local government area of the state. Spokesperson of the Kebbi State Police Command, Nafiu Kotakoshi, confirmed the attack in a statement today, saying the terrorists wielded sophisticated weapons. Explaining that the terrorists invaded the school around 4 a.m., Mr. Kotakoshi, a chief superintendent of police, said the police tactical team was deployed to the school and engaged the terrorists in a gun duel. Confirming the death of one staff member of the school, he added that unfortunately the bandit had already scaled through the fence of the school and abducted 25 students from their hostel to an unknown destination. Ahmed Idris, who is the chief press secretary to the Kebbi State Governor Nasser Idris, in a statement said Deputy Governor Umar Tafida has led a team of government officials and security personnel to the scene to assess the situation. Now, despite military checkpoints in the school area, residents remain puzzled about the successful abduction. According to a source who lives near Maga town, one of the checkpoints is under Bukuyum local government area of Zamfara state and is about 7 kilometers from the school. Also, according to locals and traditional leaders who spoke with journalists, the other checkpoint is less than a kilometer from the school. Sources revealed that the attack could have been prevented had the soldiers heeded the instruction of the state governor Nasser Idris. After an earlier warning about the attack, Governor Idris, according to a community leader, had ordered the soldiers stationed at the checkpoint less than a kilometer from the school be mobilized there. The community leader lamented that the soldiers later withdrew, leaving police officers to handle the matter. But the police spokesperson said additional police squads and military personnel, including local vigilantes, were tracking the terrorists to rescue the girls. In a recent development, the faction of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) loyal to the Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike has rejected Saturday's expulsion of prominent party leaders at a convention in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. 4 state chapters of the party have rejected the outcome of the convention in what observers see as a revolt against Governor Seyi Makinde's bid to exert his control over the party. Over 3,000 delegates gathered in the ancient city of Ibadan on Saturday to elect new leaders for the main opposition party despite conflicting court orders. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja had on Friday ordered the PDP to suspend its national convention and restrain the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from monitoring the convention. However, in a conflicting order, Oyo State High Court sitting in Ibadan permitted the PDP to proceed with the convention. The conflicting court orders effectively balkanized the party into 2 factions, one loyal to the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and the other backed by the PDP governors and other party organs. During the convention at Ibadan, the party, following the adoption of a motion moved by its former Board of Trustees chairman, Chief Bode George, expelled Nyesom Wike, former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose, ex-National Vice Chairman of the South-South, Chief Dan Obie, and a handful of others. However, one of the PDP leaders expelled at the convention, Abdulrahman Mohammed, described the development as laughable, vowing to carry on with his duties as the acting national chairman. Mohammed was named the acting chair after the faction loyal to Wike suspended former national chairman Umar Damagum and the entire National Working Committee. Now let's take a listen to a member of the PDP's Board of Trustees, James Onyeriri, speaking about this situation.
Here we go again. You see, nature abhors a vacuum. You see, what they did was a reckless, unconstitutional action. It was a non-action, to say the least. It was a political theater. It wasn't a party administration. Here are people that have the constitution of the party with them. Section 57 of the Constitution gives you a clear roadmap on how to discipline members of the party. Did they take the steps? These were clear signposts to constitutionality. But instead, what they did was to be in breach of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, in breach of the Electoral Act, in breach of the INEC guideline, in breach of the PDP Constitution, and I dare say in breach of the biblical model of order and of constitutional order and conflict resolution. So why would you take that route? You know the truth, and you're running around circles. I mean, it's just made disservice to people that you have sworn to serve, and that is the issue we have in PDP. What were you supposed to do? Okay. Send a query to a party member that you feel that has erred. Now, take the person to the judiciary committee. The judiciary committee sits on the matter by giving the person an opportunity to come and defend himself. Thereafter, you take it to neck of the party for ratification. Okay.
Meanwhile, the African Democratic Congress (ADC) has unveiled its national secretariat in the Wuse 2 area of Abuja, the nation's capital, ahead of the 2027 general elections. Former Senate President and ADC National Chairman David Mack led other leaders of the party to the formal inauguration today. He was accompanied by former Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola and his Kaduna State counterpart Nasir El-Rufai. Others were former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi, former Secretary to the Government of the Federation Babachir Lawal, and Senator Dino Melaye. In his remarks, Mark urged ADC members to be focused on preparations for the 2027 general elections. The opposition coalition officially adopted the ADC as its political platform on July 2, 2025 to contest the presidential and other elections in 2027. The coalition said it was set to rescue the country from collapse and rebuild its democracy. Former leader of the Senate alleged that the federal government, led by the All Progressives Congress (APC), had hijacked all democratic institutions and set the country on a creeping descent into total civilian dictatorship in the last 2 years. He also said the current government was consumed with politicking and had abandoned governance. You're currently listening to the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll take a short break and return with more stories and the news analysis segment. Do stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us in a very tragic development. Brigadier General Yu Ubat, 25 Brigade Commander of Damboa, has reportedly been confirmed killed by fighters of the Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP terrorists. According to Zagazola Makama, before his unfortunate capture, the brigade commander made a video stating that he was okay, but unfortunately, after several hours, he lost orientation within the forest. We're now being joined by legal luminary Barrister Fred Nzako for the news analysis segment on the World News at 6 this evening. Always a pleasure to have you here, Barrister. Good evening to you. Barrister Fred Nzako, can you hear me? Hello, Barrister Fred Nzako, can you hear me? All right, then we'll try once more to establish contact with Barrister Fred Nzako, who will be giving us his own perspectives on the issues we'll be talking about this evening, from insecurity, as we have getting reports that 25 schoolgirls have been unfortunately abducted in Kebbi State, which is very reminiscent of the abduction of over 200 girls in Chibok, Borno State, during the time of former President Goodluck Jonathan. Hello, Barrister Fred Nzako, can you hear me?
Hello.
Barrister, good evening to you. Barrister, are you there? Good evening to you.
Yes, good evening.
Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, but you have to raise your voice. I hardly hear.
All right. Is it better now, Barrister?
Yeah, it's better now.
Thank you so much. It's quite unfortunate that insecurity seems to be a continuous conversation on the Nigerian media space, but we'll continue to talk about it as the events unfold. We're getting reports that 25 schoolgirls have been unfortunately abducted from their hostels in Maga Government Girls Secondary School in Kebbi State. This reminds us of the time of former President Goodluck Jonathan, where over 200 girls were kidnapped from Chibok, leading to the Bring Back Our Girls movement, which gained international acclaim, and also reminds us of the abduction of schoolgirls from Dapchi as well. 25 schoolgirls from Kebbi State. The federal government says they are doing all they can. The police are combing forest. The military have been invited to try to bring back these schoolgirls. But how do we know that this will not go the way of some girls that were kidnapped from Chibok, some girls that were kidnapped from Dapchi? How do we know that their case will not be like the case of Leah Sharibu, whom up till now we do not know her whereabouts? While we're talking about this, it is unfortunate that we're getting reports that a Nigerian Brigadier General has also been unfortunately murdered by these murderous marauding terrorists. At what point will Nigerians no longer have to listen to scores of people being killed in the news every day?
Well, Choma, it's really very unfortunate that these same sad stories continue to repeat themselves. We get to hear almost on a daily basis that people are kidnapped. There are so many unreported cases of kidnapping and killings. Even there are even some underreported cases. But the general terrible situation is that the killings in Nigeria have not abated. And for school children not to study in peace in this country is one that is very, very worrisome. And the more worrisome part of it is that the government continues to live in denial, claiming that they are doing their best. Nigerians have said that their best is not good enough, that they should do better. But we don't seem to be seeing that better action. And anything, we keep saying that anything that will provide security of life and property of the people cannot be compromised. If that provision will come from a foreign country, let it be. If it comes from any source, let it be. If our Nigerian security officials need foreign collaborators and assistance, let them call for it. We cannot be insensitive to the suffering in the land and especially to the insecurity situation that we have found ourselves. The kidnapping has become one too many, and it is not enough to sympathize with the people or condemn the situation. We expect and want action. Action against the kidnappers, action against the terrorists, and action against those who don't want children to go to school in peace. I think it's very unfortunate, and government again has been caught napping, and they must do what is right to secure the children.
Barrister Ferdinand Zako, it is actually more than unfortunate. We've seen statistics to show that in the North, education is not what many people are very open to. In the aftermath of the abduction of the Chibok girls, we saw a lot of parents withdrawing their children from schools. It was very difficult to even convince many parents to send their children, boys and girls, to school in the first place, only for them to send their children to school and they end up being abducted. So many girls were not opportune like their counterparts to return from the forest after they were abducted by these murderous terrorists. It is unfortunate, but we've continued to see videos of these people going into towns, wielding their weapons, and actually being given heroes welcome, being welcomed like celebrities when they go into these towns because of what they call peace deals that these communities are signing with terrorists. When we talk about non-kinetic approach, can we actually see that this non-kinetic approach is not working for Nigerians? Is it time for Nigeria to actually welcome foreign intervention in our military airspace so that we can actually guarantee the safety and security of Nigerians who are living in these terrorist infested areas? Or does the government not just care since it's not touching them?
Well, both the kinetic and the non-kinetic approaches are being deployed, but the efforts have not completely eradicated the terrorists and the kidnappers and the bandits in the land. It does not mean that the security agencies are not working. They are working, but they are overstretched. That is very, very basic. They are overstretched. And in some cases, their efforts are being sabotaged by the system, sabotaged by those in authority, sabotaged by those who are supposed to support them, sabotaged by those who are supposed to encourage them and give them all the wherewithal that they require to eliminate these terrorists and bandits and kidnappers. So it's a multifaceted challenge that they face, multifaceted problems that bedevil the land, especially when it comes to issues of insecurity. But we cannot stop asking that the lives of Nigerian people should not be sacrificed on the altar of politics or on the altar of anything but humanity. When those who are in the theater of war, of battle against the terrorists, when they begin to narrate their experiences and the kind of lackluster support that they get from government, we begin to wonder whether government is truly anxious to stop this insecurity in the land. And Nigerians have directly and indirectly accused the government of not doing enough. In some cases, accused the government of even shielding those who are sponsoring terrorism. Or if they are not shielding them, they are not attacking them. And if you are supposed to attack a felon and you don't do so, the impression is that you are in support of what the felon is doing. And that is why I just have been asking the government, name, shame, and prosecute those who are terror sponsors, and do everything possible to eliminate terrorism in the land. But sometimes we hear that there is a crossfire between fight against terrorism and political expediency. And no country of the world, except Nigeria, would tolerate such a thing. The so-called repentant terrorists, they are the ones that are the fifth columnists in the system. Most people of the world and other climes will tell you that it is only in Nigeria that you are talking about repentant terrorists, and not only that you absorb them, you try to reintegrate them, not only into the society, but also into the armed forces. So, I mean, we are now sounding like broken records when almost every now and then we are complaining about the same thing. And the government that is supposed to wake up and do what is right does not seem to be interested in waking up. So, what do you expect? Kidnapping continues. The terrorists, they say they have started running away when Mr. Trump gave his threat. But now maybe the threat, as the effect of the threat is beginning to wane, and now gradually coming back. The government must secure the people. That is the whole essence of government. Failure to secure the people means that the government has failed. One of the major characteristics of a failed country or a failed society is that society that is unable to secure the lives and properties of the people. Any government that has failed to do so is a failed government. And there are no two ways about it. So the government should know that governance is not all about politics and budgeting and signing contracts, awarding contracts, and junketing all around the world and enjoying on behalf of the rest. That is not government. Government is secure the lives and properties of the people, because the people have surrendered their individual and collective sovereignty. They have surrendered their ability to self-help, and they have expected that the government, through their security agencies, law enforcement agencies, and all organs of government, should be able to secure their lives and properties. Failure to do so, that government has failed.
All right.
And that is what it is.
While we're talking about this, Barrister Fred and Zako, while we're talking about the situation of insecurity, there is still this cloud of an alleged Christian genocide going on in Nigeria that was raised ever since U.S. President Donald Trump designated Nigeria a country of particular concern. Right now, the U.S. House of Reps Subcommittee on Africa, that is the U.S. Congress, wants to begin a full-scale probe into these killings in Nigeria. If the CPC designation is ratified by the U.S. Senate, it means the U.S. will now be able to impose sanctions on Nigerian officials who are found complicit, people who are found to be culprits in religious persecution, and also limit some certain forms of bilateral assistance. These sanctions, how
you, the line cracks. I don't know if your hands free. Move your hands free. Let them.
Is it better now, Barrister Fred? My apologies, Barrister Fred and Zako. My apologies. All right, give me a second, please. If you can hear me, Barrister, I'm talking about the U.S. Congress probing this alleged Christian genocide that they say is going on in Nigeria. And I'm asking, if they impose these sanctions on certain Nigerian officials, if they limit their bilateral assistance, how exactly will this help Nigeria and Nigerians and these Nigerian Christians that they claim they are trying to protect?
Well, they are trying to force the government to do what is right. That's all. For any country that fails to secure the lives and properties of the people is an injury to the international community, is an injury to humanity. What is going on in Nigeria is an injury to humanity. And that is why the United States want to come and rescue the people, innocent people, harmless people, helpless people that cannot help themselves. You have asked them not to carry guns, but you have looked the other way when criminal marauders are carrying sophisticated harmful ammunitions and guns all over the place, killing them. It does not mean that the terrorists are stronger in terms of strength. What gives them the strength is the gun in their hands. And you have asked the citizens not to carry guns. The citizens have respected the government and the authorities, and they have let down their guns. Some of them don't even have at all. Those who have surrendered their own to government. The same government cannot drive away the criminals that are coming to disturb the people. And that is what has incensed American president and American society, that they said we have a responsibility as human beings in a common humanity to come and save these people that we have allowed criminals to be killing on a daily basis. And if the government fails to do so, then they will come. And anybody who asks America not to come should tell the government to secure the lives of the people. You cannot refuse to go and refuse to come. One must happen. It's either you secure the lives of the people or you allow those who can secure them to come in and secure. After all, humanity is the same. An injury to one, when they talk about the world population, if they say the world is 7.6 billion, is it how you are going to begin to allow the people to be killed? There's no holy book on earth that supports killing, illegal killing, the type that happens in Nigeria. No holy book. But Holy Bible, Holy Quran, the book of the Buddhists, the book of the Tao, none supports killing. Because all the religions of the world acknowledge the fact that there is a maker. No human being can create another. As tough as sophisticated as science is, nobody can produce blood. Does it not worry? Does it not don't you hold nature in awe that no matter how sophisticated science has become, none has been able to produce blood, and you allow such blood to be wasted, and you say you are a government? I think America has done right. And if there is important that Nigerians should know that that threat is not even threat against Nigeria, it is a threat against criminals. It is a threat against terrorists. It is a threat against those kidnappers who have just kidnapped children from Zamfara. How can 20-something children go to school and there are stories around them? Those who have been kidnapped in the past have not been found. We made mention of Yes Alibu and the rest of them. What is their fate? Where are they? So, and what is the fate of the younger ones who say want to go to school? What is the future of Nigeria? When those who are leaders of tomorrow are kidnapped carelessly and wantonly by criminals who don't mean well to the nation, who don't have any value to mankind. The duty we have as a country is to remove those because they have become like cancer. Are you going to allow cancer to continue to eat the fabric of humanity in Nigeria? That is unacceptable. So that is why we ask government to do what they should do.
It's a very unfortunate situation, Barrister Fred Nzako. But I want to quickly look at party matters because of our time. The faction of the PDP, which is loyal to FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, has rejected his expulsion and the expulsion of certain other members of the party. And we saw during the convention on Saturday and Sunday that 4 different state governors, people who are supposedly PDP governors, did not attend that convention. Notably, River State Governor Sim Fubara, he did not attend that convention. The Osun State Governor was not there either. And Wike has finally been expelled by the PDP. Some Nigerians are happy about the situation. They say this is what it should have been for a while now. But then, over 3,000 delegates, conflicting court orders, which seem to have balkanized the party into 2 factions. Now, these people are saying that they are not happy with what is happening. In fact, a member of the PDP Board of Trustees said that in expelling Wike and others, they did not go through the right means. They should have issued like a query to the people they wanted to expel and say, come and explain yourself. They should have also written to the National Executive Committee of the PDP. They should have actually sat down. You don't just go to a convention and say, okay, this and these people will no longer be a part of the party. But what many Nigerians are concerned about is the position of the PDP ahead of 2027. How can it effectively be an opposition that will stand against the ruling APC, which has said they will control 30 parties by 2026 if its house is not in order?
The 2020 election is not about APC and any other political party. It is about APC and the Nigerian people. What the Nigerian people are looking out for is that individual in any platform, standing on any platform that can rescue them from the terrible misgovernance of the ruling party. It is not a hidden secret anymore that the ruling party is the one that has not allowed the opposition to breathe. It is possible for them because of lack of integrity among Nigerian politicians. It is possible for them because of lack of ideology, because of lack of the will to serve the people. majority of Nigerian politicians are in there for themselves. And that is why it is very easy to sway them in the wrong direction. Otherwise, can they say no? Did anybody point gun on their head? But the very moment Ghana must go is carried around. They throw away their conscience, throw away their integrity, throw away their opposition, bring even the opportunity that will kill their political party. It started with the 5 governors that call themselves opposition governors inside the PDP. Yes, on weekend, Sheyi Makinde, Samuel Otom, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, and Okezi Ikpeazu. Today, where are they? Sheyi is now on one side, Wike is on the other side. The 2 men who decimated PDP towards 2023 election are now at daggers drawn. So what does it tell you? That they are not interested in credible opposition. They just want to. Some people are even accusing Sheyi of working for President Tinubu. If you don't know, some even are accusing him that thing that he did with Wike towards 2023 election, that what they are doing today is just make believe. It's as if they are quarreling. That they are not quarreling. That they want to ensure that PDP is finally buried and taken to the morgue. But he was finally killed and taken to the morgue. Today, with those, now PDP has been broken into 2. It is no longer a case of there are no factions. No, there are factions in PDP now. The recognized secretary Samuel Anyanwu is on one side. The man who joined Samuel Anyanwu to work for Wike to decimate PDP, Eli Adamagu, is now on the other side. PDP is a home of confusion and commotion. And I tell you that Nigerians have seen them for what they are. They are no longer credible and they cannot save Nigeria in 2027. The 4 governors that didn't attend the convention are governors that they said are already waiting in the wings to jump into APC. Abu Kefas of Taraba State, we heard in the news that he has planned to join APC on Wednesday. That is next tomorrow. The governor of Osho, they said that one is on the wings. The governor of River State, of course, you know that one is, his history with the Wike. So you don't even expect him to, none of his people will even travel to Southwest in that period, not to talk of going to Ibadan. And the other governor, Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State, where is he today? He's in APC. So all the governors are running into APC, not because they love President Tinubu or because that the APC is doing very well, but because their platform is leaking. The umbrella has been badly perforated and there is no more hiding place under the umbrella. And how did it happen? It happened because when men of integrity do not show up their integrity, they will fall like packs of cards. And that's exactly what has happened to PDP. The men who are in PDP, majority of them have lost their integrity and they sold their party.
Barrister Ferdinand Zako, is it under this same turn umbrella that we are seeing people asking former President Goodluck Jonathan to still come and contest under the platform of the PDP? Is it under this same turn umbrella we are seeing people say Obi should come and represent the party in the 2027 elections? Because the party seems to really be concerned with 2027, but does not seem to be very concerned with putting its house in order.
Well, they know that putting the house in order is difficult. The 2027 election is also difficult for them because they are losing steam on a daily basis. Kebbi State, the man who became who was elected the chairman of the party at the Ibadan convention is half of his state in Kebbi. Something to like SAN. Half of the people, his party members in Kebbi, were working against him. What does it tell you? They have already been infiltrated by the APC. APC brought in dangerous dimension to politics in Nigeria. Very, very dangerous. They also brought in dangerous dimension to governance in Nigeria. The so-called change that they mounted in 2014, with which they deceived Nigerians in 2015, has changed Nigeria from where they were to where they never dreamt of being negatively. I said this with all sense of responsibility. APC has not done Nigeria any good. When you look at all the institutions in the country, they are all under the yoke of political maneuvers, manipulations, and filthy fingers. Go to judiciary. Judiciary is gone. Go to INEC, Electoral Management Body. INEC is gone. Go to security agencies, the police, the military, and the rest of them. They are all shadows of themselves. That is why the entire nation is sick. APC has brought sickness to Nigeria, the fabric of Nigeria as a country. Massive, terrible sickness. And the terrible thing is that the sickness has no cure for now, because those filthy fingers are still holding Nigeria at the jugular. Nigerian people must rescue themselves by first understanding the seriousness of the situation, and secondly, doing what is right to take back their country. Like the Americans will tell you under the Trump campaign slogan that they want to take back America. And they are succeeding in taking back America because it was becoming too terrible that a man would openly come and be marrying a man in the public. A woman will openly come and be professing love for another woman in the public. And Trump said no, that biologically God has made man and woman. And whoever you are at birth is what you should be at death. Gradually, the terrible demonic system is gradually changing. Even in sports, some people said they wanted to go to prison. No, you take me, a man was born a man at birth. He changed his sex to a woman. And when he had issues that required him going to prison, he said he wanted a female prison. Government said no. You were born a man, go to male prison.
Barrister Friend Zako, that seems to be a uniquely Western problem. Let's focus on our own local problems in Nigeria.
It is to tell you that Nigeria, the same way America is struggling to take back their country, Nigerians should struggle to take back their country from APC and the terrible misgovernance that they have visited this country with. The terrible misgovernance. Look, sit down with any person in government and they will tell you in all sincerity that Nigeria is going. It's a simple fact. Forget occasional opportunism that some people don't mind, because their money is coming into their pocket. What is money when you cannot freely move around in your country? What is money when you cannot freely associate with your fellow citizens? What is money when you can only have rest of mind when you travel outside your country? So the whole money, those who feel that they are opportune are only misplacing what opportunity means. Opportunity is when everybody is okay, at least majority of the people. Jeremy Bentham in his treatise said that the well-being of a country is measured when the majority of the people are well. You cannot take care of 100% of the people, but have you been able to take care of the majority? They say the greatest good for the greatest number of people. How many people in Nigeria are enjoying the greatest good? Absolute minority. A country of 220 million has 165 million living in abject poverty. Can that country be said to be doing well? And when did it start? It started with this government. So Nigerians must guard their loins and take back their country in 2027.
All right then, Barrister Friend Zako, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your opinions. Thank you for your analysis on the world news at 6 this evening. I do appreciate you for joining us. So it's a pleasure to have you here. All right then, you have been listening to the world news at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Just before we wrap up, let's take a look at the top stories again. You heard that former Bangladeshi Prime Minister has been sentenced to death over brutal protest crackdowns. Police and Kebbi state government confirm abduction of 25 schoolgirls. U.S. Congress begins full-scale probe into alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria. And Wike camp rejects expulsion as 4 states challenge Makinde. That is a wrap on the world news at 6 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent. Good evening and thank you for listening. Do stay tuned. The Evening Rush will come up at exactly 7 p.m.